Hello, 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 beautiful people. Thank you so much for coming. And for those who are watching the replay, if you are not a blog star, please make sure that you, for one, thumbs up this video, and for two, that you press subscribe and the bell to always be notified for Big Brother updates and anything else that Blogs and Fiction has to offer on this channel. Hey, Patricia, and hey, Trish. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to wait a few seconds. And guys, can you hear me? All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm a little heartbroken because Ian got sent to the jury house. They are now at the amount of people where no one is getting sent home. After last week, that was the last person. Bailey, unfortunately, was the last person to actually be getting sent home. Thank you so much, Patricia. And so now everyone that gets evicted will be going into the jury house. And Ian was the first to go. As you know, I was rooting for Ian, and it's sad. The way that it had come about is originally Kevin and David were placed on the block to get sent home. But if you have been following Big Brother, hey Nick, if you have been following Big Brother, then you know that David won. Hello, 12 Veils. Thank you so much for coming. David had won a power which he could take himself off of the block if he ever felt that he was in danger of going home. And so David had won the power. And it was amazing because not only did he win the power, but Davon, who is the second person that I'm rooting for. So now that Ian has gotten sent to the jury house, Davon is like my number one person that I hope that she wins this game. Um, she had won the power of veto, meaning that she has the power to take someone off the block. Well, it only made a lot of sense because there is an alliance of 6 in the house. It only made sense for her to use it on Kevin to prove to Kevin that she has his back and that they should work together because her, David, and Kevin literally have no one in the house. Um, Ian, that's kind of how Ian got sent to the jury house. He only had Nicole. He did have some people who were willing to work with him, which was Davon, Kevin, and David. And those were the people that actually voted for him to stay. Even though him and Nicole were very close, Nicole did not want to go against her alliance because that would put her in a position to, if she voted for Ian to stay, that would be 4 votes for Ian to go home, 4 votes for Ian to stay, and that would put Danny in a position where she would have to break the tie. And since Danny is the head of household, so she had voiced and really tried to get some of her alliance, the alliance of 6, to get Ian to stay because once David took himself off of the block with his power, and once Davon used her power of veto to remove Kevin, 2 other people had to be replaced, and that was Tyler. Tyler is a strong competitor. He is a comp beast, and Ian. Ian has not won anything yet, so sending Tyler home would have been best for everyone's game. However, Tyler is in that 6-person alliance. So Nicole was kind of split in between. Nicole, throughout the week, voiced her opinion, begging for Ian to stay. And she was pretty much told, if you go against our alliance, you are going to make yourself really look bad, and that's going to blow up your game. If you have not, guys, please thumbs up the live. If you're watching the replay, please thumbs up. So, Nicole didn't want to put Danny in the position where she would have to break the tie and send Ian home. Hey, accused world muffin. She didn't want to put her in that position. So Nicole did vote for Ian to go home. And so my thing is now Davon and David and Kevin are going to be the target because of that 6-person alliance. They are going to try to pick them off. Right now, the live feeds are off because they are finishing the head of the household competition, and I really hope one of those 3 win because that is the only way that they will be able to have a fair chance of getting some of the 6 alliance members out of the house. So this means that from now on, Kevin is going to have to step up his game in competitions. Davon is going to have to step up her game, and so is David. Okay, so now that I have covered who has gone to the jury house, and also Ian did let Danny know because of the move that she made, he will not be voting for her to win. Because the jury is kind of the last say. They're the ones that vote for you to win the $500,000 when you're up against the next person when it's down to the final 2. He did voice that he will not be voting for Danny if he got sent home. So we know that Danny does not have Ian's jury vote. Now let's talk about something very disturbing. Let's talk about what happened on live feeds last night. Memphis, Memphis, Memphis. Last night, Memphis and Cody were talking on live feeds, and Memphis called David the N word. Guys, Big Brother, I know that you have a disclaimer at the beginning of all of your live feeds and shows to say that you do not have the same views as your house guests. However, David was targeted last year. This is Big Brother All Stars, so everyone in the house has at least played twice. Whether this is their second time in the house or more, everyone has played this game before. Last year, David was targeted by Jack and Jackson. If you guys want to go down memory lane, last year on live stream, Jack and Jackson had a conversation in the kitchen, and that same word slipped out of one of their mouths. Memphis, you know this. Anybody that has played Big Brother before, they have followed up with the show. Some of them have huge Twitter followers or Twitter support. Some of them have YouTube channels where they keep people updated. And you follow this and you know what David has already gone through last year. And for you to come into the house and do the same thing, I think that Big Brother should have stopped the evictions tonight, and they should have sent Memphis home. They should have just evicted one person. Memphis should have gone home, or they should have just evicted Memphis. It is not okay for people to keep coming into the Big Brother house and doing this. And it's sad for David because last year Jackson did win $500,000. And he had to really explain when he was the final 2 up against his girlfriend Holly of what was going on, and what people were thinking and what the Twitter world was thinking and what Big Brother fans were talking about. And yeah, his face was bloodshot red because he didn't want to come off as a racist. However, he did a lot of that in the show. And David was really heartbroken by it because he was one of the first people targeted and one of the first people sent home. And good for him, last year there was a playback and he didn't win it and he had to go home anyway. So let me go to the comments. Everyone's saying hello, hello to each other. Yes, and Q $500,000. Yes, that's what they win when they are the final person and the jury has voted for them to win. David should win tonight. I hope so, Nick. I hope one of the three, Kevin, Davon, or David, because there is a huge alliance in the house and they're just going to pick them off. They don't have the votes. If two of those people are put on the block, one of them are going home because there is a whole team of people that are going to vote them out. So one of them have to stay to protect the other two. One of them has to fight in this head of household competition. And it would be best if, if they could also fight in the veto because if someone else wins the veto, they're just going to take one of their favorite people off in the sixth alliance. Um. Oh, I want. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Memphis does need the boot. Memphis needs to go home. I already had that feeling about Memphis because of the way that he moved when he was the head of household the first time. I said Memphis is going to be a problem. You can kind of pick up on the way people act, on their conversations with others, their attitude towards others, and Memphis already had given me that vibe about him. Yeah, last year was a mess. Yes. Yes. NQs, this comes on CBS. And then if you ever want to watch like the replays or if you want to watch previous shows or even live feeds, you would go to cbs.com and you can watch it from there. They should have let him go right then and there. My problem is I also watch Big Brother Canada, and Big Brother Canada does not play any jokes. They do not play any games. I have seen them send people home for doing things like this. Why is it a problem here? And why do people feel comfortable enough? Because I know Memphis saw last year. I know that he saw all of the social media buzz about Jack and Jackson, what they were doing in the house. I know that he saw this because anyone that has been on Big Brother, they literally love Big Brother more than the fans do. So they keep on top of things. And like I said, some of them open up YouTube channels, some of them have podcasts, some of them have a huge Twitter following. So I know he knows. So for him to feel comfortable to come into the house and do the same thing that was done last year, that is where it's a big issue. There is a huge issue saying it, period, but it's even bigger when you feel comfortable and you know what kind of issue that caused last year. And that's where it's like, you know what? You're too comfortable. You need to go. You're going to be a problem. And that's why I hope one of those three wins HOH tonight. That way they can protect each other throughout this week because they are just going to be targeted. There's too big of an alliance. And the alliance, if it doesn't show you anything, Ian and Nicole were like, they had a final two deal that they would take each other to the end and they were like each other's number one. And Nicole went against Ian because she was in this six group alliance. At the end of the day, they are going to look out for themselves. It's a part of gameplay, it's a part of the game. Ian is so classy. Once he found out that there was a six alliance, he was like, good game. Wow, I just thought the whole house was teaming up on me. But now I know that there was alliance. I'm happy for them. That was good gameplay. Ian is very classy and he dealt with it in a very good way. However, they're not going to turn on each other. So the only way Davon, Kevin, and David have a chance is if they save each other with one of them winning his head of household. And the live feeds are still off because they are still continuing the head of household competition. Um, BB Canada does not take any tolerance towards racism or bullying of any kind. Same with Australia. Yes, yes, definitely. And that's a big problem. Like I was saying, for someone to come in the house and knowing what happened, and they feel comfortable doing that. So I am rooting for Davon, Kevin, and David, that one of them come out on top tonight, that one of them win the head of household. They are up against comp beasts like Cody and Tyler, but I'm just hoping that they can pull through in some type of way. I will be giving you guys the update for tomorrow of who won HOH tonight. And thank you guys for spending time with me. Thank you for listening to my Big Brother update. If you're watching a replay, please leave in comments of what you felt about tonight's episode. Also, you guys, if you want to watch the extended interview, I did leave the link below. These are interviews of people who have already got sent home. And tonight, someone got sent to jury, which was Ian. That is cbs.com/BB Rewind. That is crazy and cute. It really is. And unfortunately, Big Brother is starting last year. A lot of people were saying that they weren't going to watch this year. So this year, Big Brother kind of had a chance to to kind of do things over, start fresh, to gain their supporters back. If they did lose any, I know people were saying that they weren't going to watch, and believe me, I was one of those people. And look what I'm doing. I'm giving updates. But if they did lose, this was their chance to shine and show that they're not going to tolerate this. Yeah, you don't have the same views as people, but don't continue to give them a chance to win $500,000. Don't continue to reward bad behavior. That's bad behavior. That's sickening. And I know I feel bad for David because I'm tired of David being targeted. David has been very respectful in the house, and it seems like he's kind of scared to really um, talk too much, or he's just been making some safe moves. But I'm ready for him to come out of the shell and really, bust some heads and do what he has to do as far as being on top and kind of saving Davon and Kevin. And hopefully, once they win so many HOH competitions, they can start bringing, some of those six alliances and working with them and create an alliance themselves. But it's going to take some hard work. I feel bad for them because it's only three of them, and they have to make sure that every HOH, one of them is winning the head of household competition. I was too, and my babes, they were mad. Yeah, I know. Yes, Kevin also. Yes, yes. And it's just sad because I really wanted Ian to win. I really did. And he is a Big Brother mastermind. So, well, guys, thank you so much for coming and spending time with me. You guys have a blessed, wonderful evening. And if you have not, please make sure you thumbs up the live. Love you all. Good night.